Whatever sign is in your parents' sun, moon, and rising, 9 times out of 10 is going to be inside of your sun, moon, or rising. And it can even show up inside of your inner planets. Hi, and welcome back. My name is Janine. You can call me D. I'm an astrologer, and I teach people the psychology behind marketing. And today we're going to be diving into family dynamics and what you can see from looking at the parents' chart versus the child's chart. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is your parents' sun, moon, and rising. Whatever sign is in your parents' sun, moon, and rising, 9 times out of 10 is going to be inside of your sun, moon, or rising. And it can even show up inside of your inner planets. And even more exact than that, you can have your parents' inner planets show up as your inner planet just inside of a different house. Okay, so for example, I read a huge family. Okay, this was like, it's 7 of them all together, so the mom, the dad, and all 5 of their children. And the mother, she passed down the Venus that she had inside of her chart to all of her children except for one. And when I overlapped their charts together, what I had seen is that this child who didn't have the Venus, they had actually different morals and values personally that they had to develop, and the development of these different morals and values actually was geared towards developing a whole different part of their family's chart altogether. And this different part that was being developed and was being structured took on different morals and different values than what the family tree originally had or originally came from. And her son, she had the same placements as her son, okay? And they both had the same Venus and the same Mercury, both in the same sign, just in different houses, okay? And the mother, she didn't have an opposition between her rising sign and the sun, but the son, her son, had that opposition, okay? And she has more than one child. All of her children except for one had the same Venus, and this was passed down whether this was a son or a daughter. Same Venus, all except for one, which was the youngest child. And when you look at the parents, whether that be the mom or the dad, you can look to see the luminaries in specific. Always check the luminaries, but in specific, the aspects that they're making. Check their child's chart and if those same aspects are being made. Because what I also have found, like when you study not just those parents, if you have the time, okay, you can overlap more charts. If you can go back and study the parents and you have that information available to you, I suggest you go back and see, because you'll be able to source out aspects or things that have been inherited for a long time. But even if you don't have that readily available to you, you can of course use derivative houses, okay, for you to understand the story of this family more, and also to the aspects, okay, that are being made by the outer planets. Okay, what do I mean by that? If you have an inner planet or even a luminary, right, and it is directing or aspecting something like Uranus, if you have a luminary and it's aspecting something like Uranus, there can be a breakaway. There can be something different or something that's changed about the process behind one what this person is working towards when it comes to career, but also to what was there before in their family. Now, also when we're looking at inheritance and family dynamics inside of the natal chart, you have to look at and really tune into what's happening with the 4th house, because the 4th house is beginnings in life, but it's also the endings of life, okay? And the 4th house talks of inheritance, and the 4th house gives an emphasis on whatever is being developed there, whatever planet is there, if there are any planets at all. Like say for example the moon is there or Mars is there, the inheritance that is given to this person can be in a way of dealing with their emotions and going about their emotions that come from and stem from home. planets inside of the 4th house are super important because whatever planets are there, like say for example if you have Jupiter there, you're more than likely the person that people in your family go to get advice from. And as you get older, you'll find that the way that you're giving advice or your spiritual knowledge that you have is very much going to change up and even mature in a different way. So say for example you have Jupiter in your 4th house and you have this awesome knowledge that you're tapped into, tuned into, and this intuitive feeling that you just know certain things and how to nurture things to get the results that you want, okay, with Jupiter in the 4th house. As you get older, with Jupiter being in your 4th house, you're going to notice that the way that you go about guiding these people is going to distinctly be your own thing, even though this is something that you learned from your parents, okay? And this is super cool with any 4th house placement because even though this is inherited and it's something that is coming from your family, your bloodline, you make it distinctly your own as you get older because you're understanding how to use it, how to work with it even more, okay? Intuitively ingrained in you, okay, this knowledge wherever it's placed. Well, if it's in the 4th house, whatever planet is placed inside the 4th house, okay. Also, not just the 4th house, but we also look for Pluto, okay, Saturn, and even Neptune. Yes, Neptune, okay, because this is talking about generations of time, not just the regular day-to-day basis that we're dealing with, okay, but generations, over a span of generations, these planets speak to that amount of time. And so you can look to those planets to see more about your ancestors, where it is that you came from. If you have, say for example, Pluto, and this is a person that is my client too, okay, Pluto in the 4th house, their father, it's in the sign of Scorpio. Their father is very intense. Their father and the characteristics of their father is very intense, but their whole bloodline in general is like that, okay? And this is spanning back very, very far. Very, very far, okay? And when you see this person or you see, you know, their father, the distinction in the way that they go about their personality and the distinction in the way that their child goes about their personality is completely different. And this has been brought about over time, okay, but there is traits, okay, and very much deeply ingrained traits or habits that this person has that is stemming from specifically their father's side, okay. And Pluto inside of the 4th house, this is a lot of things that she had to sort of get the bubble popped over, or the overall ego image that they have of how they go about things pertaining to their family, the dynamics that they have with their family has been popped time and time again, okay. And this popping of that image and how they're relating to their family through the things that they share, this image has built this sort of cool quality where this person has things that are reminiscent of how it is that they grew up, how it is that they have learned to very much display power and how to share that power when it comes to people closest to them, because this was a big power dynamic. And taking that knowledge as this person got older, the change up was the habits and things that they saw their bloodline partake in, they didn't partake in. And this was from a lot of chaotic or seemingly chaotic situations that seemed to completely, as I said, pop the person's bubble, okay. And it was a bubble that needed popping so that they can learn to make this distinctly their own, okay, because Pluto in the 4th house can also be reminiscent of bringing about or having the same type of power struggles and power dynamics when you become a parent, okay, or if you don't, you know, unlearn some of the things that can be learned sometimes when Pluto is in the 4th house, okay. And in this specific case, this wasn't the greatest manifestation. But this person, how they chose to take this experience, and how they alchemized the energy that's already inherently there, and they use that to their advantage, so that they're able to not have this power struggle with people closest to them, but actually be able to share this deep and intense emotions without having to turn towards habits that aren't the best for them. Okay, that was speedy. So you guys, that's all that I really wanted to speak about and talk about for today, and I will be coming out with more videos, don't you worry. If you liked, make sure that you like, and make sure you subscribe so you don't ever miss out on one of these videos. And if you have your parents chart available to you, make sure you're looking at your parents chart and seeing the similarities that's going on. It might trace back even further than your immediate family. Okay, so thank you guys so much. If this helped you, like I said, make sure you like and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Bye you guys, see you next time.